Hello, I am Veronica, and today we're asking government like a business? And I'll be going over my overarching theme, which is legitimacy and oversight, um, when we're considering running government like a business. I'll also go into depth about how efficiency and collaboration play into effect um, in this discussion, and explain how government operations differ from private sector. Legitimacy and oversight is essential in maintaining citizens' trust. This promotes transparency versus private sector that just prioritizes profit. Um, with this legitimacy and oversight, there is an adherence to process, law, and democratic accountabilities. And what that looks like for government is having those checks and balances. Um, for City of Riverside, we have our city manager, Mike Futrell, and the city council that have their checks and balances. So building on this, there is crossover with private sector and government. There's both organizations have a standardization of practice. They have that foundation of administration. However, that allows them to be efficient. However, that efficiency can't stand alone in government because the mission is so ingrained. And the mission is to uphold fairness, representation, and equity. And while you have both of those, there are going to be trade-offs. And for government, that looks like you won't always make a profit. And an example I'd like to bring up is with the Cesar Chavez community workshops. We had the standardization of pushing out the campaign to advocate for the program, and to maintain that fairness and to ensure that we did get the citizens' input appropriately. We pushed it out in English and Spanish, and we had translators on site for sign language to ensure that we upholded that commitment to our citizens. Most importantly, to consider if a government should be run like a business is the human and collaborative dimension. Bringing up the Cesar Chavez workshop again, there needed to be that cooperation and shared purpose with the community, with the nonprofits that we serve in that building. There was the cooperative system and communication channels to ensure that everyone had a seat at the table. Everyone knew about the event, so that they could voice their opinion, and they could be heard. And with that information, it just allows us to adapt through their feedback and have that independent relationship that is a dialogue, so that we can evolve. As I've mentioned today, government, it's necessary to have the legitimacy and oversight with our values so that we can be held accountable. But this also needs to be balanced with efficiency, so that we can continue our work and uphold our morals and civic responsibilities, so that we can continue to constantly question how we can be more transparent and deliberate with our actions, versus the private sector that is solely guided by profit and competition. I thank you for your time. Here's my references, and leave your comments below. Thank you.